Can Silksong live up to the hype? That's the question I've been asking myself recently with all the new stuff revealed about the game, and they also just announced that the game is coming out in 2 weeks. Hello? I don't think it would be an understatement to say that Silksong is the most anticipated game this decade, apart from only GTA 6, I guess. There are so many expectations for this game, I genuinely don't know what Team Cherry has to present for people to be satisfied. Hollow Knight is regarded as one of the best indie games of all time, and just as one of the best games of all time, period. And I agree, this game is absolutely a masterpiece. They crafted such a unique looking world and they put so much care and detail in it, and I'm not just talking about how it looks, but also the music, sound design, character designs, platforming, creative bosses, lore. This game has one of the most unique atmospheres I've seen in gaming space, and it's so packed with content, it's insane. And now with Silksong they are promising that it will be even larger in scale. I'm really curious if they are going to deliver an experience that can top the original Hollow Knight. So let's get into my expectations for this game. Okay, so Hollow Knight Silksong has been in development for 8 years. For comparison, original Hollow Knight was developed in 2 years as stated by Team Cherry. So this game took 4 times longer to develop, which is quite insane. Even crazier part is Team Cherry has been cooking this game up in complete silence. We got barely any news on anything related to the game. Shout out daily Silksong news. And now all of a sudden it's about to drop. There has been no reports on anything going wrong during the development, no scandals, no layoffs, so it seems like Silksong hasn't been going through a development hell, and they actually have been working on this game all this time. What could they possibly have been doing for so long? I honestly have no idea. Sure, this game is going to be bigger in scale than Hollow Knight, but I can't imagine it being like twice as big. We saw that Silksong is going to have 40 bosses, whereas Hollow Knight had 30. So I'm curious, what exactly are we going to see in this game that's gonna make us go, oh, okay, that would take 8 years in development. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the game is going to be a disappointment simply because the scale is not large enough. I don't need Silksong to be a 200-hour-long game to beat. But if they want people to be amazed, the quality of the content has to go up a level. Hollow Knight is not a perfect game, no game is. Masterpiece does not equal perfection, and all I'm trying to say is there is room for improvement. There are 2 games on my mind, to be more specific, 2 sequels. Tears of the Kingdom and Ragnarok. Both of those games were objectively good sequels. They expanded on original game's mechanics and story, adding more new exciting stuff to do. However, both of those games just don't give me the same feeling I got from their prequels. It's a lot of the same locations, a lot of the same enemies and weapons to use. On paper, those games just expand on what made them good in the first place, but they just don't excite me. The magic is not there anymore. We got a chance to take a look at this game's demo on recent Gamescom, and yeah, the art style is still very pretty, but it's no different from previous game. Platforming seems samey, it looks like levels are going to keep that very rectangular structure. The healing mechanic is still there, combat doesn't seem different, and yes, I know it's just 10 minutes of a demo, and I'm sure there is a lot of new content in this game, but it seems like what we are going to get is more Hollow Knight, which is, again, not bad at all. I know for a fact I'm going to enjoy this game, I know it's going to be a lot of fun, but I just think that many have those expectations that this game is going to be revolutionary when it might simply be more quality Hollow Knight gameplay and world building, and I personally would rather not raise my hopes too high and be pleasantly surprised if this game does end up flipping the script and introducing many innovations that I didn't even know I needed. It does seem like they are going to expand on combat in this game, which is one of the main things I want this game to do, because even though combat in Hollow Knight is by no means bad, it definitely lacked depth and was getting stale towards the end of the game. So I really expect them to introduce more mechanics to make combat feel fresh throughout the entire game. I actually want to mention a game called Nine Souls quickly, a game that I believe is a slept-on masterpiece, and I think it does some things even better than Hollow Knight, including combat and boss fights. I'm not going to get too deep into it, I want to make a standalone video on Nine Souls one day, so subscribe for more gaming related content. I think this game might have the best combat I've seen in a 2D game. It has a parry mechanic, which is always a W, because when done right, this shit won't get boring till the end of your playthrough. Some of the enemy's attacks can be parried, the dark red attacks can only be dodged, and paired with all sorts of abilities and upgrades you get in the game, It creates an amazing gameplay loop that is always satisfying and looks awesome. Now, I'm not saying that Silksong needs a parry mechanic to have good combat, but I do hope that they will introduce something to make combat more layered. Hornet does have a few abilities, like throwing some sort of daggers and a long-range thrust attack, so it gives me hope we will have even more interesting abilities that directly expand combat. I also have to say, enemies in Silksong already look more interesting. In Hollow Knight, most enemies I'd say were very forgettable and not challenging. Here it looks like they're actually going to have a more varied moveset, so that is sick. We got a chance to see 2 boss fights. The first one is Mother Moss, gonna be honest, doesn't look that impressive. Seems like a fight that could already be in the first Hollow Knight, but it's like a tutorial boss, I guess, so I don't think it is worth critiquing it all that much. The second boss, however, looks very cool. Its name is Lace, and the moveset this boss has is very impressive. Looks very flashy, and overall just seems like a very solid fight, and I hope that more bosses in the game look exactly like that. I will repeat myself, I'm sure I will like this game. At the end of the day, we are getting more Hollow Knight content, and that is already worth celebrating. I just don't know if that magic of my first Hollow Knight playthrough can be replicated with Silksong, but I sure hope Team Cherry can blow me away with their game. There is so much hype around this game currently, it makes me very curious to see if the majority is going to be happy with how this game turns out. But I have no doubt we are about to get a top quality game. And if you like my nonsense blabbering, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel for more content on video games and everything related. Thank you for watching.